Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an updated house tour. I feel like this video is slightly overdue because a lot has changed since we moved in. So we moved into this 80s style bungalow back in January of this year. It's now August, so this is like our kind of 7-month anniversary of being in the house. And I thought it would be good to just kind of show you the process, because when I tend to film these videos, I tend to focus on specific areas of the house, and it'll be good for you guys to see the good, the bad and the ugly of the whole house as we walk through. So I'm going to grab my cameraman Steve and we're going to start filming. Hello. Come on in, come on in. So obviously first thing you see when you walk through the door is our hallway. So when we moved in, there was like orangey carpet everywhere. There was wallpaper all over the walls. This is definitely a massive work in progress. As you can see, we have stripped all the, well, Steve has stripped all the wallpaper back. Shout out to Steve. So this is very much a work in progress. We have no flooring down. We've got a self-leveler down. This is probably going to be next on the to-do list. One of our favourite features of the hallway, which is really, really sad, is the coat cupboard, completely untouched, very messy and completely unorganised. Don't go too far down because I don't want people to see how messy we are. But it's nice to be able to shut stuff away in there, and nobody who visits the house ever really sees that. So to the left, we've got basically all of our living space, and on the other side is all our bedrooms and stuff, which is nice. That's one thing we loved, was that there's like a split between the kind of living and bedrooms. You don't walk in and get hit with a bedroom straight away. It's nice to have that separation. But we're going to go this way into the lounge. So this is the lounge. So when we moved in here, OGs will kind of remember that this was very, very orange. We had Artex ceilings, we had like beigey wallpaper, we had orangey carpets, we had a fabulous brick fireplace situation, which is also very, very orange. So we have been stripping all of that back and making it a nice kind of white blank canvas. This room is definitely far from being finished. We haven't done a lot of styling here. In here, there's a lot more things that we want to kind of make it a bit more warm and homely. It is a little bit of a white box at the moment, but let's address the elephant in the room, which is the sofa, because this is our 5-month-old IKEA sofa, which has completely collapsed on us. So we'll be looking to replace that pretty soon. So any kind of modern sofa recommendations, chuck them in the comment section down below, because I'm going to be shopping. But yeah, this is the kind of lounge as a whole. We have obviously one massive change in this room was this kind of archway here. So before it was this glass brown situation. That's one of the first things we ripped out actually, wasn't it? Yeah. And we built out this stud wall, which we actually managed to line up with the French doors in the background, which we'll get to in a second. I think one of the things that had the biggest impact in this room was painting out this brick. As soon as I saw the brick in this room, I was just like, yes, we're having exposed brick painted out white, and I love how this has turned out. We removed the old gas fireplace, which was gross. It didn't even really fit the space properly, and we've gone for more of like an exposed feature in the fireplace area. A lot of you guys said previously, like, why don't you put in a log burner? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? We personally will not use it. We have been very honest with the fact that this probably won't be a long-term house for us. We will probably be looking to move in like a couple of years or something. So we don't want to invest in putting something in that we won't use, and we'd rather leave it as a bit more of a blank canvas in case someone did want a fireplace. They can kind of choose what they would have, because I feel like it's one of these things like everyone likes different things. So we're going to leave it. But we've styled it up with a mirror, floating mantelpiece. I did videos on all of these, so I will be linking them in the description down below. And also the nice kind of sideboard moment in the corner. I love that the TV is tucked in the corner out of the way. You don't see it as soon as you walk in. I love that when you come through the door, the first thing you see is like the sofa. It looks really inviting, and the TV isn't a focal point in the room. My desk is in here temporarily. This is obviously not where it's going to live, and I'll show you why in a second, because that's a whole other hot mess. But we're going to go through into the dining room. Last time we filmed the house tour, I walked backwards into the light, and this time I walked backwards into the table. So I feel like that's a tradition. So this is our dining area, and when we first moved in, we had a fantastic, huge pendant light. It was like a big old orange orb thing. We actually still have that in our garage. I feel like that's a bit sentimental, we don't want to get rid of it, but we're not going to use it in the house, obviously. So we pulled that out, we added spotlights in here. Obviously this was wallpapered as well. Every room in this house is wallpapered. But the main big change we made to this room was knocking down the wall. So this is originally where the wall between the dining room and the kitchen was. It was a really flimsy stud wall. We had it checked out by a builder. He was like, it is categorically non-structural whatsoever. It was like paper, so we knocked that bad boy down to create this really nice open plan kitchen diner space. I will be doing a full-on kitchen tour at some point, but as you can see, there's a lot of stuff that's still missing and needs to be done. We don't have all of our fronts on our cabinets yet. We don't have an extractor hood. I've got a whole open shelving situation I'll be doing up in there, a little DIY hack, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, once the kitchen is fully done, I'll be doing a full-on tour. What's your favourite parts of the kitchen, Steve?
I love the worktops, personally.
Yeah, actually that's something that a lot of people were like, oh, you'll have to be careful, they'll be really difficult to clean. We haven't had any issues. I feel like I've gotten to grips with the best way to clean them, which is hot damp cloth, bit of multi-surface spray, and they come up perfectly. The kitchen cabinets are all from IKEA, so we have the black slab front panels, which are the 𝐀𝐚𝐨𝐿 from the Method range, and we also have the 𝐴ngusund, something like that, cabinets over here. I love the kind of two-tone of it. I think if we had black everywhere, it would be too intense, and I always wanted to have these as more of like a standalone unit, so it just looked more like a kind of pantry larder unit, which it is. So again, I'll be running you through what's inside these in a future video, but if you notice that there are no appliances and stuff out on our countertops, that is by design, and they were all hidden in here, as with our fridge freezer, which is in here as well. But we absolutely love this kitchen. I feel like when we first told people like we were going for all black, I think a lot of people's faces are like, but everyone who's seen this absolutely loved it, haven't they?
Yeah, 100%.
I think it looks so stylish. It's just very minimal, that kind of like nice Scandi minimal vibe. We also went for waterfall edges on the sides, which I think just adds another kind of element to it. It looks fabulous. Again, with every single room in this house, we've got loads of touching up to do. There's no skirting boards anywhere. There's like, yeah, there's just a lot of stuff to do. Definitely not finished product, but it's nice to have a fully functional kitchen back again. Yeah,
I was just going to say, from this angle, the kitchen looks so good, with the exception of the brown door behind you.
Yeah, we'll get onto those in a minute, because I get a lot of questions about the brown doors. I'll take you guys through the whole exterior stuff at the end, but I did recently film a video where we had all of our windows and exterior doors replaced. So originally we had dark brown wood, not a vibe. I originally said that I wanted to keep them and paint them, but they were rotten and just awful, like awful, weren't they? Really drafty, didn't close properly, not safety glass, so it was not an option to keep them whatsoever. We've gone for PVC, white on the inside, anthracite on the outside. And in that video, a lot of you guys said that I never showed the French doors. So here they are. Here are our French doors. I actually had these open the other day, and these cute dogs. So nice to get a really nice like breeze in. I've been sat working at the dining table quite a lot, so it just opens it up. It feels so much more like indoor-outdoor vibes. So yeah, we love it. They're really great addition to the space, because before it looked like French doors, but it wasn't. It was like a window and a door, and there was a lot of brown. So very nice addition to the space. Were you just looking at the bare bulb? Don't worry guys, video coming up, we'll be addressing that very soon. So brown doors, oh that feels so rough, where it's got like spray on it, like spray paint. Original plan with these doors, so a question I get asked quite a lot is, are we keeping the brown doors? No. It's definitely not our vibe. We don't like the dark brown. I don't mind the flat panel doors, and actually my original plan was just to paint them. However, we've noticed they're really not very good quality. They don't block out any sound whatsoever. They are like hollow. And the worst thing is actually that quite a few of them are warped. So I've got my eye on some doors that I'll be replacing very soon. A bit frustrating because it wasn't a cost that we were intending to pay, but I think in the long run it will look a lot better. You're very happy with that. Steve wanted brand new doors from the get-go and I wanted to upcycle them, so you've won that one.
1-0 Steve.
Right, so back into the hallway. So we've just done like a little loop. Obviously the hallway needs a lot more work. Like, it's all stripped back, it's all ready to go. We had Artex ceiling in here which has been plastered and we have painted it now, but we need to do a lot of sanding and finishing these walls before we could put a lick of paint on. And then once I've done that, we'll be laying the same kind of light oak flooring throughout the whole hallway, so it all just looks really like fluid and consistent. That is the vibe. But no shock here, the walls will be white again. So as you come down the hallway, on the right we have our main bathroom. This is one of the only untouched spaces in the house. One of. This is bathroom. It's a really good size. We actually really like the layout of this. It works really, really well. We obviously had the window replaced in here, out of every single room. We will be removing all of the cabinetry. Well, we're basically removing everything. I don't know why I'm specifying what we're removing. We're going to gut it all, like we did with our ensuite as well. But keeping it a very, very similar layout. We'll be looking to do a big storage vanity, very similar to what we did in our ensuite. If you haven't seen that, I will link the video. Cheeky little IKEA hack in that one, which saved us tons of money. I'll show you in a minute anyway. In case you guys didn't see, we did a weekend vlog the other day on my main channel, but this is the vibe for the bathroom. We've already got loads of this already, but light grey LVT flooring, nice kind of ceramic vertical stack, white tile, and obviously a wood vanity. So that's the general vibe, just to give you a gist. The shower doesn't work, we've had it disconnected because it was leaking loads. The flush on the toilet's a bit dodgy, works when it wants to. So yeah, not the nicest room in the house. This is the toilet that the guests use when they come over as well. So it'd be nice to get this done relatively soon. But there's a long list at this point. Okay, so back in the hallway, just being in the bathroom, this room to my right, which we won't actually go into, and you'll see when I put the footage in. So this is going to be the guest room / my office. This is embarrassing. This is so embarrassing. This has turned into the junk room. We've got so much stuff in our garage that this is like the overflow from that. Anything that doesn't have a living space at the moment, it gets chucked in there, which is why I currently have my desk in the lounge, because I cannot work in that room. My OCD is just like, so plan for that room. We want to make it a lot more kind of inviting. I don't like doing themes, but I keep on thinking of more of like a kind of deserty vibes, like not boho because that's not really our vibe, but bringing in some kind of like warmer tones. The rest of the house is very white and stark. I want the bedrooms to be a bit more warm and inviting. So we've already got the carpet. We just need to get the ceiling plastered because of his Artex, get that plastered, paint that out, strip the wallpaper, paint the walls, new skirting boards, new carpet, furniture, decor. Not much really, is it?
Not much, is it? Easy.
I think like we're kind of tossing up which is going to be the next big project to do. So obviously I've got a lot of little ones going on. I think this is going to be the next big one that we're going to tackle.
Yeah.
Steve wants it to be the bathroom. I don't think I'm not there yet to take on another bathroom. I think it should be the guest bedroom. But we'll see. Subscribe and you'll find out.
Let us know what you think in the comments section. See who is right.
Which one would you tackle first? But anyway, let's keep coming back into the hallway. We love this, don't we?
Behind brown door number 4 is...
This is brown door number 1000 at this point. So we have a laundry cupboard. This originally had a water tank in it. I don't even think I've got any before footage, because this is one of the first things we did to the house, because our boiler actually broke.
It did.
Well, it didn't break, it just wasn't working to begin with.
The only way we could get hot water, no, the only way we could get heat was by running the tap so that the hot water kicked in as well. It wasn't a good...
The thermostats were broken, the boiler had kicked it, so that was a bit... Ugh. When we first moved in, our bank account screened because it was like dropping a few grand on a brand new boiler. But we thought, while they're at it, rip out the water tank. We don't need that. We've got a combi boiler. Let's stick our washer and dryer in there, because in our last house, we had a combi washer dryer in our kitchen and we hated it, didn't we?
Yeah, it was awful. Shrunk clothes on the drying setting.
It was just loud, and when you wanted to be in there, you couldn't have it on, whereas this is very much contained in a cupboard. You do obviously hear it when it's on, but it's not as like obtrusive into the living space.
No.
So we got brand new Samsung washer and dryer separate. Works out way better for us. We actually went with a heat pump dryer, which we adore. It doesn't shrink all our stuff, so I definitely recommend. And one thing that I never knew existed was one of these, which is a stacking kit. So I think they recommend you have these anyway, just to make it secure when you're stacking them. But it's really handy to chuck your washing basket on there and you just pull it in and out. Love it. We're going to be doing some nice kind of storage situation in here. We have a lot of room around it, so I want to do some like shelving, some kind of baskets and stuff that we can just pull things out as when we need them, and maybe utilise some of this door space and put some racks on here as well. But obviously the door is not going to be with us for that much longer. Well, when I say that much longer. Anyway. Let's continue moving back. Let's do Steve's office first. So, back of the hallway, on your right, which is my left, this is Steve's office. So this is actually one of the first rooms that we decorated. So, for those of you who don't know, Steve streams, so he wanted it to look nice for when he was streaming. So I think we catered to that. We went with this two-tone vibe. I don't know if we're in love with this, are we?
Not completely. So I have some lights that go on in the background and it kind of throws off the colour of it a little bit. Basically,
I think I like it, but for what Steve wants, I don't know if it works out the best. So we may, after everything else is done, we may be giving this a little revamp at some point. We will see. But this room has probably had the most VIP treatment out of all of them.
I agree.
You lucky thing. So... new skirting boards, we've got new carpet in here. We chucked in this wardrobe just for a bit of extra storage. This came from our last house. This is from made.com, but we picked it up on Gumtree for like 50 quid, and it's solid wood, so pretty happy with that. We've also got a sofa bed in here, just because this is 3-bed and our last place was a 4-bed. We wanted to make sure that we had enough space for guests coming round, that we had another kind of space that we could pull out. So the dogs mainly just sleep on the bed, on the sofa, and it's a nice place to chill, but it does pull out into a sofa bed. We also obviously have Steve's immense desk set up in here. So this is the same that we had in our previous house. It's basically just 2 IKEA Alex drawers with an IKEA worktop on top of it. It's not even fastened because there's so much stuff on there, it kind of anchors it down. It doesn't really move, does it? Nope. But if you're looking to do a really nice big desk space, we would definitely recommend. It was really, really cheap. The drawers are super affordable. You can choose whichever ones you want. And I think the worktop was like 50 quid, and it's a really, really good size. Okay, moving across the hallway into our master bedroom. Okay, so this room has had a makeover, but definitely not the finished product. So this was number 1 priority when we moved in, was making this room a bit more homely for us, so that we could sleep in here and have somewhere to escape from all the renovation mess. We would highly recommend, obviously this is like not how it's going to stay, and we have so much more work to do in here, but what we did was basically strip the wallpaper back. We gave the walls a lick of paint, we chucked down a rug, got in some furniture here, and just made it feel a lot more normal for us basically, and made it a bit more our style. But we are going to be doing a lot more work. Obviously the carpet needs to be replaced, skirting boards. We have these big built-in wardrobes as well, which I did a bit of a DIY flip on, just because they were a bit intense with the wood. But they look a lot better now, but I don't think we're going to keep it like that because this layout doesn't 100% work for us at the moment. But it's a really nice space to kind of chill in. It doesn't feel like horrible and dated like it originally did. It was quite drab in here, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, we also, another thing that we've had done is actually have all of our radiators replaced as well. So where we have decorated, all of our radiators are basically shrunk down in size because they're more efficient. They don't need to be as big. We now have areas around that we need to kind of decorate. But yeah, kind of nice space. We've got our mound bed. We've got some all sconce light situations here, floating bedside tables. It's not the biggest bedroom, so we're going to be reworking the wardrobe situation. Stay tuned. With everything, just stay tuned because I've got big plans of how we're going to make that space a lot more efficient. So through this door is our ensuite. Like I said, we have done one bathroom. The main reason because we were originally using the main bathroom to shower and everything, because this shower was broken when we moved in and the toilet was also half broken. So the shower in the main bathroom started to go. So we basically were like, let's quickly renovate this one and then we'll, yeah, sort that one out later on. So the shower in the other one has been switched off. So this room, I feel like I had a really specific style that I wanted, grand plans, and quite often I am someone who gets absorbed in Pinterest and I was so worried that it wasn't going to turn out how I wanted it to. We love this. Honestly, like I was so shocked just how much it changed this room. So when we moved in, there was a tiny little corner shower. There was a weird little vanity situation that looked like it should have been on an airplane. The toilet didn't really work properly. It wasn't the worst, but it was just quite dated. So obviously we ripped everything out. We documented all of that as well. And we actually didn't do anything on this room ourselves. We had our plumber and builder kind of like work on it. But we opted for a nice big walk-in shower. I think this shower tray is like 80 by 1.60 m, so it's quite big. But it really opens up the wall where we have this frameless shower screen here. Just makes it nice, big, open. We've got the shower niche as well, which if you are doing a bathroom, 100% build in a shower niche because it's so helpful. You can have all your products on hand and it just looks more tidy. We've opted for matte black finishings in here. A lot of people said to be careful with that. We're actually in a soft water area, so we haven't had any issues with it. We previously lived in Bristol and I think we wouldn't have a lot of issues there. But we're soft water here. So my favourite thing from this bathroom is actually the vanity. So we did an IKEA hack on this. We used a mound chest of drawers. I know a lot of people said be careful because obviously it's laminate. If you look, vanities are actually very expensive to buy. They're quite small and a lot of them are just laminate anyway. So this has been an amazing hack. Rather than spending hundreds of pounds, we spent about £70 on this chest of drawers and we went for a countertop sink on the top there as well. I love the oval shape of this sink. I just think it breaks up all the angles and we've got this really nice big round mirror there where again it's just kind of breaking up all the harsh lines. We've gone for this really nice large scale kind of slightly concretey vibe tile on both the walls and the floor, which we absolutely love. Yeah, and just little black kind of touches everywhere. We wanted to keep it nice and light and bright in here, but kind of like balance it out with those darker kind of tones as well. Still a lot to be done in here. We've got need to like redo the ceiling and the doors, so a lot to be done. But yeah, probably one of my favourite rooms so far. Right guys, I've let Steve crack on with the rest of his day and I'm going to run you through the kind of exterior bits of the house now. So I'm not going to go out and stand in the sun. It's like 32 degrees today, so it's absolutely boiling. I'm just going to talk you through it from the comfort of our nice cool house and overlay some of the footage. So let's start with the front. Some of you may have already seen, like I said before, we had all of our windows and doors replaced. So all of our windows were those like really dark brown kind of timber frames, really clunky, just not vibe. So we have had all of those replaced. At the front, we've opted for a really nice kind of solid door. I know that's something that got asked a lot before, was why we weren't going to have a glass door to let in more light. And it's because personally, I don't really like a glass front door unless you spend a lot of money and get a super bougie Crital one, or Crital, whatever they call it. That wasn't in budget. So we opted for a solid door. Does it block out some of the light to the hallway? Yes, but we have opted for clear glass side lights, which help the situation a little bit. One question that also got asked a lot from previous videos was about the kind of side door to the garage. Obviously, we didn't pay to have that replaced. We don't really basically need it to be a PVC, like airtight door. The garage is not directly connected to the house. You can't walk through it. So we basically weren't concerned about it being airtight. So I think the plan is that we are going to replace the door with a timber door, but paint it to match the rest. And also the garage door at the front is still brown. That will be getting a lick of paint as well, which should hopefully, I'm going to document the whole process. I've heard a lot of you guys who've done it and you love it. I've seen on Pinterest loads of people have done it, so we'll see how that turns out. Worst comes to worst, we will get a new door for the garage, but I just don't see the point in replacing it when I would get a similar style one anyway. Our most recent project was also replacing the walkway up to the house. So before, we had some pretty grungy patio slabs. We've pulled those all up. Someone came and grabbed those for free off of Facebook Marketplace, which was handy. It meant we didn't have to sort of arrange a skip or anything, because they were heavy. And we opted to replace all the ones in front of the lounge window with stones. I just think it looks so much nicer, higher end. We will be putting a lot more like planters and styling that area up in the future, but we've got other things on the to-do list for now. And we went for this stepping stone kind of pathway. More questions that came up about that is, will we be painting the patio slabs on the actual doorstep? The answer is no, because we have extra patio slabs that match the new pathway, so we will be replacing those with dark grey ones. We just haven't got around to that yet. What was the other question? Oh, around the loose stones. I have actually purchased, it's not here yet, but I've purchased a resin product that you can pour on, which will lock in the stones so they shouldn't move. Is it irritating at the moment? It's not irritating because we've not had it that long, but will it become irritating? 100%. So I always knew that I was going to pour on some sort of resin stuff to hold and like lock those in place. So that won't be an issue for too much longer. So in the garden, I wouldn't say a huge amount of work's been done. We've spray painted most of the fence black. We still have one kind of like run of fence along the side that hasn't been painted, and that's because that fence needs some work done. It's pretty unstable, so we're going to get someone to cement in some new posts just to make sure it's structurally sound and it's not going to blow away before I commit to spray painting it all. We've done kind of bits here and there, like trimming stuff back. We had our oak tree, which is protected. We had to have it surveyed and trimmed back because that was pretty overgrown. But obviously the main difference at the back is just all of the new windows and doors. They make such a difference. And also the roof, nearly forgot that. That is another huge change that's happened, is we had our roof cleaned and sprayed. So when we moved in, it was brown, covered in a lot of moss, and it was just awful. Honestly, we wanted a new roof, but we managed to save ourselves a lot of money by just having it cleaned, which, to be fair, it came up really nice after cleaning it anyway, but we had our hearts set on a grey roof. So once all the fascias and soffits and stuff are redone, when I say redone, we have some repairs and we are just going to be painting them, because I actually like the wooden ones and they're in good condition. It's just in certain areas where there's been leakages in the guttering is where there are issues. So those will be addressed and we will be painting them to match everything else. So we are getting there. We're not entirely sure what else we're going to be doing to the garden. We've thought about putting in a decking area in the back corner, or maybe just like a stone seating area or something, just to kind of break up the lawn a little bit, but TBC. We're not entirely sure. We'll see how we get on, but it's not that high up on our list. So that is the house tour. Quite a lot of change there. I find it weird because obviously there's some rooms that you walk into which kind of look like they're finished, and then there are some rooms which are like half done, and then some which are just not. So it's definitely a bit of a mishmash, but that's why I wanted to kind of film this and update you guys. And obviously I don't want you seeing the rooms that look like they're done, and the reality is that's not where we're at with stuff at the moment. I think we're making good leeway with it. Our original time plan was to basically have majority of the stuff done by the end of the year, and I think we're on track to do that. Maybe not to have it 100% absolutely perfectly finished, that's fine, but to have majority of the rooms pretty much done would be really nice to have that by Christmas time probably. So yeah, even the rooms that are kind of done, like the kitchen, there's still like skirting boards, there's just little finishing touches like caulking, filling, all sorts. So I think that's going to keep us busy for quite some time, and I don't think any room is going to be 100% done for quite some time. So yeah, if there's anything I've missed, which I'm sure there will be, leave a comment, ask anything you want to know about literally anything. We're trying to be as open and honest about literally the whole process of this house. So if you have any questions, let me know. If you guys want a Q&A or anything like that, we love filming the Q&As together. So any questions you have, fire away. Let me know what your favourite part of the house is so far. I'd be really intrigued to know. But if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up because it really supports my channel, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for lots more kind of renovation DIY videos, and I will see you guys in the next one.